Anyone have some coffee? I would like to have a one large cup of coffee. Do you have extra large? I'll go for an extra large cup of coffee. Oh, thank you. There it is. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. Now, you know, there's a pretty good reason. So we're just having coffee. I'm drinking coffee. I like coffee. I like coffee in the morning and I like coffee in the afternoon as well. And I'll tell you why. Because it is a marvelous and wonderful thing, in my opinion, that God put on this planet and for us to enjoy. Now, obviously, too much coffee is not good. 10 cups of coffee a day, not good. 5 cups of coffee, which is just half of that, still not good. One is good. Two is good. Sometimes three. And I think that's where we get the cap. That's the coffee cap. The coffee cap. The coffee cap. I'm dyslexic. And dyslexic people will switch around the letters and words sometimes. Albert Einstein, and there's some actors I know that have dyslexia. A lot of artists are dyslexic because when you're dyslexic, you use more of your imagination, which makes you a better artist. Not too many people that are like accountants or jobs of that nature are dyslexic. Some are, most probably not so much. Um, but I will say this: I have a hair in my mouth. I got it. Nice. So I would say, is coffee such a passe subject? Are we to the point where we're like, okay, coffee? Uh, I don't want to talk about it because it's not interesting. I'm not sure. That light is very bright, and that's okay. I typically like to wear the sunglasses, the shades, when I can. But you know what? Let's thumb through some. Since we're here and we're having coffee, let's go through some of our Bible study notes from the past. There's two good reasons, I will say, for drinking coffee and doing Bible studies. One good reason for me, I like when I'm drinking coffee, I get happy because I like the way it tastes. Number two, it perks you up a little bit because there's caffeine. So, Bible study. Hey, how's it going? Hello, Jesse and Toily KYT. I am. And do you like that? Because sometimes Samuel Smith has got a lot. Oh, Russia. Oh, Ima Roshka, Shabbat, Shalom to Ima Roshka, Shabbat, Shalom, Da. Did anyone see the thing with Zelensky? You got the Ukrainian guy. Yes, I will shut up. But when I shut up, will you grow up? Did you guys see the movie Stand By Me? It's a Rob Reiner um, film, but it is a Stephen King story. Stephen King wrote a lot of books, some pretty good ones. Um, I like some of the Stephen King movies; they're pretty good. And I will say this: if you like Stephen King and you like Duran Duran, the next question is, do you like Sheena Easton? This means nothing, right? You do? Okay, who do you like? Do you like Sheena Easton? Duran Duran? Yes, it. It was an amazing movie. Very good. Well done. Also, there are some other movies not as well known that Stephen King did. He actually did, um, what is it? Not Needful Things. Needful Things is an interesting movie. I watched that movie around the same time that I watched that movie. Anybody see the movie California with a K with Brad Pitt? That's an interesting movie. But the movie that I'm looking for, that I'm thinking about is I totally forgot. So I'll come back to that later. But oh no, I just remembered. It's not creepy things. It's not needful things. It's Creep Show, right? Is it Creep Show? Creep Show has like a series, like three different California rocks. I like that movie. Brad Pitt, as far as I'm concerned, that's like his best role that he's ever done. Okay, like I mean, he's done a few other movies where it was. I mean, Fight Club was debatable. It was okay, so. But California with a K, definitely a good Brad Pitt film. My favorite scene from that movie was when they were pulling out in the morning. They just like checked out of the motel, and Brad Pitt is talking about some guy's like girlfriend and says, he goes, "Hey, did you see that woman over there? She was butt ugly and hairy too." And he goes, "Why don't you shave that dog and teach it how to hunt?" And I thought that was just hilarious. Humor is good. I would say laughter goes a long way, even so much as to divide a lot of things. Okay, so when things are divided, in some cases, from a particular perspective, Lucky Lager, that's right. That ain't Lucky Lager. That's yeah, exactly. That was a really good movie. And remember them doors I was talking about, brah? Found me one back in Kentucky. I was minding my own business and I closed my eyes. I count one, count two, count three, open my eyes. There's nothing there. And he's like, "Hank, I'm uglier than you are." That was a very good movie. And then Juliette Lewis, who what was her name in the movie? Adele. That's right, Adele. And which is kind of funny because one of my kids is dating a girl named Adele, and the only thing I can think about when I think about Adele is Brad Pitt's. His name is Early, and he didn't eat breakfast. Remember, he's like, "I don't eat breakfast, never do." Anyway, that right there is a lovely cup of coffee, and his son is making movies now. Well, that's pretty cool. I always like it when there's a generational thing. Like Mario Andretti had his child, Michael Andretti, and he started racing cars. It's always kind of cool when you get this family tradition going. I mean, you have like 7 and 8 and 9 generation people like making wine, vineyards that get Brandon, okay, and he's cracked as his dad. That's good. Is it a wonderful thing to see these little traits, these little characteristics. They pass on through the DNA, right? Through the DNA, they pass through from one person to the next. And yes, weird movies are the best. I like thinkers too. When you watch a movie and you really have to think about it, like you're trying to figure out, okay, the guy that made this, like the writer, he wanted people to really think about what was going on here. And I believe that in many cases, most people that watch like a really, really intense thinker, they get stumped. They're like lost. They have no idea what this movie's about. But those are my favorite kind of movies because it's nice to use the old noodle up here. The kid away from his parents and traits aside physical. That's true. It is very, very true. But what's so interesting too is like when you're looking at your parents, right? And you're like, okay, 14, and then you're like 19, and then you're like 20, and then you're like 24, and then eventually, you have kids, or maybe you don't have kids. In some cases, having the kids is kind of relevant, but in other cases, not so much. But it's interesting. You see things that your parents do, right, or say, and you just kind of like it rubs you the wrong way. You're like, but then you find yourself doing those same things or saying those same things, and it's like history repeating itself. And it's annoying because you're just like, wait a minute, that's not me. That's like my parent. That's like in me, because we're part of our parents, right? we're part of our mom and our dad, and sometimes we might be different from our mom and dad. We might be like our grandma or grandpa or like our great uncle. Yeah, the DNA is an amazing thing. I mean, as far as science goes, science baffles me and it fascinates me and it interests me and it intrigues me. Science is where it's at. A lot of people, they read the Bible, they're like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and read the Bible and to hell with science. I'm not that kind of person. For me, I love the Bible, but I also love science because science gives you so much interesting things to discover. Blue eye and 4 inch taller than both our parents. Yeah, see, I have a friend whose name is Jeff, and Jeff, when I was working in a fine dining restaurant in Malibu, not too far from where I am now, my buddy Jeff, his brother's name is Jeremy, which is my name, Yirmeyahu, which is Jeremy. But anyway, Jeff is 6'9". Okay, that's a tall guy. I mean, that's actually pretty good for the NBA. 6'9", and I just remember he had a piece of his one of his pinkies was like he'd severed it, in some kind of an accident. He didn't really tell me much about it, but I just remember that I didn't notice his finger because I just noticed his height most of the time. For the first few weeks that I knew him, I had just known, he's a 6'9" guy. And then one day when we were in the back of the kitchen because we're like getting something, I noticed his finger and I was like, dang, dude, what happened there? And I don't think he really told me, but he was missing like, the last half inch of his pinky finger. I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyway, but yes, you will get people that are kids, their parents and the kid has like dark skin or eye color that's neither one of their parents or just these weird things. And, that comes from, way back. You go 4, 5, 6 generations, and then it's in the DNA and it just comes through. So it's interesting. You think about, I don't know, twins, identical twins. Most of the time, they get along really well, and most of the time they, look pretty much exactly alike. But there are small little things that you would be able to pick up, and that is the personality of this twin versus the other twin, and that's kind of how you decipher which one it is. Genetic condition, monkey hands, thumbs is so weird, and then missing middle toe. Conjoined sides toes look like a ninja turtle. That's awesome. Yeah, there are some birth defects, deformations, freak of nature type stuff out there. I mean, if you look at some of the medical journals, some of the pictures, there's some weird things, man. I've seen people with faces that are all kind of like just deformed. People that have like right, the Siamese twins, that's gnarly. Or people that are born with like two arms on one side and no arm on the other side, or 4 legs instead of 2. Crazy stuff. He got mad at me. Well, you know what? I guess some people take that kind of stuff like personally, and they get sensitive about it. I mean, I'm guessing that I guess if I had like a tail, right? And people were like, "Hey, man, cool tail." I'd be like, "What? Screw you, man!" I get upset because it's like, yeah, I don't. People aren't supposed to have a tail like a monkey, But it would be kind of cool, right, to have a tail. I mean, if you're walking around, you got a tail, that'd be pretty awesome. Ninja Turtle Halloween, yes. You know, Halloween's actually one of the coolest holidays because you can dress up like a punk rocker or like a biker, or you could dress up like just a big bunny or something like that. Halloween is your holiday. Yeah, I dig that holiday because you know what? You can have a lot of fun on that day. Um, yeah, monsters. I have a friend who basically gets these 12-foot tall animatronic like giant Halloween things that puts them out on their front lawn for like 2 months before Halloween, and then takes them down a couple days after Halloween. But just like real into the holiday, and yeah, it's like imagination. Okay, when a person uses their imagination and has fun and is creative, To me, I think that rocks. I think that's awesome. There's so many different things that we can do in the world, and a lot of times, just playing make believe, dressing up, doing stuff like that, it makes things interesting. I believe that it's important to be intriguing, be interesting, be original, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that just they don't know really who they are, so they just kind of act like you like gloves. I also like gloves. Sam Gloves likes gloves, and so let us talk about that for a little while. I like tactical gloves, like if you're in the military, special forces, and you got like those pair of gloves that cost like $2,000, and they got all kinds of like really cool things there on them, perhaps even some capabilities. Uh, that's always some cool stuff too. Yeah, homemade outfits are the best. I actually remember when I saw the movie Friday the 13th, and I was like, dude, that thing is freaking awesome. And I took butter knives. I took four butter knives. I went to the grinder, my dad's grinder. I think I was about 14 at the time. And I sharpened them, and then I attached them to a glove. There's a good one for you, Sam Gloves. I took, I took butter knives, sharpened them down, and attached them to a glove, and I made my own Freddy glove. It was freaking badass. And I took it to school, and then a friend of mine wanted them, and I'd already used them for a while, and I was, and then I gave them to him. And I can't remember. I think he may have gotten in trouble with the school for having them because it was kind of like a weapon. Anyway, it's good for people to use their creativity and imagination. It makes life interesting for the person who's being creative and for other people. People wears disposable plastic gloves, rubber gloves, cleansing gloves, surgical gloves on both hands just for me while you're live streaming as well. I think that is fantastic. I think that's fascinating. You see, Sam Gloves is someone who's original. Like, who else is going around with the name Sam Gloves talking about all this stuff about gloves, right? I don't know anyone else besides Sam Gloves. And so Sam Glove rocks because Sam Gloves is original, and being original is what is awesome and unique. We are all human beings in this world. We're this human family on this planet Earth. And so when we're being unique and original and awesome and creative, it's just good for everyone. But if everyone is just kind of like blah and not really using much of an imagination, not being creative and unique, it's kind of lame. Matt, I got made a sword out of a Corian, the counter stuff off that. Well, swords are awesome. I have 5 samurai swords over here. I don't know if you could see. Yeah, there's the blue one, 2 purple ones, a silver one, and a green one, the handles. The greatest thing about samurai swords is they're fun to do like real fruit ninja with. So you get a buddy, because you can't really do it yourself. Break it because he said someone got hurt with it. Yeah, well, you got to be careful. I think it's good in life to be creative and fun and adventurous, but also be cautious. Nice swords. Yes, I like swords. And so, like the Fruit Ninja thing, I was talking about it yesterday, I believe. A lot of days just kind of blend in for me, so I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. But what I will say is this. You get a buddy, and if you have a YouTube channel or not, if you don't have one yet, make one. And here's my advice. Get a buddy, go outside, and get a samurai sword, or like a really good, pretty good sized kitchen knife at least. But it's better if you get a samurai sword. You can get a decent one on Amazon. I know Amazon, really interesting place to order a samurai sword, but you can. I got all 5 of these from Amazon, but you can get like a decent one for like 85, 90 bucks. But anyway, you get the samurai sword. You have a friend take like 5 different kinds of fruit, right? And he throws them in the air, and you slash them, right? You slash the pieces of fruit and the 5 different kinds of fruit. You slash them with your samurai sword, and then you upload that onto YouTube, and you start your YouTube channel with that. There's not that many videos out. I've seen a few, but not that many where people are doing that. So it's still kind of unique, and it's a lot of fun. So give it a shot. Machetes. Yeah, machetes are awesome. I love machetes. There's some machetes I think that are a good 2 feet long, maybe even 2.5. But you can also get like the samurai sword, like a knife version. I have one of those. Those are cool. Bottle cans and bottles, yeah. Oh, the other thing too, if you go on Amazon or go wherever you want to any store you want, I'm not Jeff Bezos' kid, so I'm not pushing Amazon. You can go and get this stuff wherever you want to go get it. But the fully automatic BB gun, right? Those are a lot of fun, if you, especially you want to shoot some cans or some fruit or some water bottles or whatever. But a fully automatic CO2 machine gun, BB gun, lots of fun. Lots of fun. Fruit is definitely the most entertaining, I think. If you're going to slash it with the samurai sword or even shoot it with pellets or BBs, a lot of fun. But I think we're going to do, Sam, yes, gloves. I love gloves as well. Gloves are good. Did you check out or did you catch when I was talking about the Freddy glove that I made? Because I made a Freddy glove and I had four butter knives that I cut down and then I sharpened and I attached them to a glove and it was a Freddy glove, like Nightmare on the Elm Street. Very cool, very cool. I would suggest that people give that a shot if you have a grinder and can do so. Also, samurai swords. Pick one of those up. Get some 5 different kinds of fruit. Slash those. Have someone throw them in the air, and you can cut them. Film that. Put it up on YouTube, and just title it Fruit Ninja or whatever, or Sand Gloves Fruit Ninja or whatever. It makes no difference. Also, these are pretty cool. The electric motorcycle. They go about 50 miles an hour, and they're really fun. You can do some wheelies on them. You can cruise around in the grass, for a while. Put a helmet on, be safe. But those are fun. Also, some of the electric scooters are fun. Some of them are going like 40, 50 miles an hour. Off-roading scooters are really cool. What else is cool? Oh, painting can be nice. Dirt bikes, yes, absolutely. you know, Obviously we've had gas-powered dirt bikes for many, 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 many years, decades and decades. But these new electric ones, they're pretty torquey. They're pretty nice. You can get a decent one, I think, for like 3,000 or 3,500. Some of the better ones are maybe like 5 or 6,000. But they're worth every penny of it. If you really like to go off-roading and have a battery-powered thing, it's a lot of fun. They're pretty potent, pretty strong, pretty powerful. The other thing, skateboarding. I never really got into like a motorized skateboard, an electric or gas powered. They had some gas powered skateboards a long time ago. They were pretty lame. The electric ones, I'm not really into that. I like to skate short, like a short regular trick skateboard, and the long boards for speed and just carving. Surfing is good. Skating is good. I do a lot of both of those. But snowboarding, I haven't done that many times, but it is a lot of fun. I would say the wingsuit thing, I hope that starts getting more popular and more safe so that more people can go do it, because the wingsuit thing, it just looks completely awesome. I'm thinking maybe there's some kind of like a jetpack with an extra foil in addition to the wingsuit. They would make it so that you could just kind of like take off from the ground and not have to jump from a cliff, and you could kind of monitor how high you wanted to go. Yeah, flying to me, for a human being, human beings have been looking at these birds for thousands of years, and then finally, about a little over 100 years ago, they actually made it happen. We got the airplanes up in the air, and I just think it's pretty awesome. But to be in a wingsuit, and especially if you have the wingsuit and then an additional little hydrofoil type thing that you'd have attached, because I saw there was two dudes. They jumped from the top of a mountain. One with just a standard wingsuit. The other one had a hydrofoil thing attached to underneath, and he was just soaring so much better. So I'm thinking maybe if you had like a battery-powered jetpack that could last 25, 30 minutes, and in addition to that, you had a foil, and in addition to that, you had the wingsuit. So you could take off, maybe just on a huge grass field, but you could get, 10, 15, 20 feet off the ground, and then constantly have, the ability with your arms and your legs and however it is that you're controlling the thrust from your thrusters to stay off the ground and high enough, but not too high as to be uncomfortable. But eventually, when you got the hang of it, go 80, 200 feet high right? If it lasts 25 or 30 minutes, the battery and your thruster, and then you got a foil and a wingsuit. I mean, that to me, I think we should be putting money into that. Screw NASA. Like you're spending billions of dollars on what? Take all those billions of dollars and make some wingsuits with the hydrofoil, with the thrusters and the battery powered operated rocketing things, and then hundreds of thousands of us on Earth can be flying around. I mean, that seems a lot more fun. It's like the ocean. We've got the ocean. We only know 5% of the ocean. That means 95% of what's going on in the ocean, like all the sea creatures and the sea life and all these other things that we could learn, we don't know yet. But yet we're going up into space to try to learn about that. Why don't we learn about what's going on our own planet first? Also, we go around and police the world. Why don't we, feed the people? There are actually people in the United States in certain, little pockets through in some states, they're starving to death. Why? We're going out and trying to do other things. And I don't have a problem with going out and doing other things. That's fine. But it does seem like it would be a good idea to put our own country in a position of being well taken care of, right? Also, I think that truth and righteousness are the way to live life, right? If you're not living life in the way of truth and righteousness, then you are self-destroying, and the people to your left and the right, they're looking at you and thinking, well, this person, is living life the way they're living it, and I'm not thinking that it's self-destruction, right? I'm just thinking that that's life, right? And then so many other people are just doing life that way. So you just think, well, this is like the way. And then you see these other people, and they're doing things in a way that's different, and they're a smaller group. So it's kind of hard to get interested in doing something that's different, especially when there's a very small population of people doing that, and there's a very large population of people doing something else. It's hard to jump into the small percentage of people doing something that just doesn't make any sense. And you see, this is the wonderful, I want to say bubble. It's like a bubble. And the way that the bubble works is this. You got people inside the bubble and people outside the bubble. Some people are saying, I don't want to be a part of anything that's like hypocritical or this or that or the other, and I can understand that. And then you got people that are interested in doing things that are religious and ritualistic and following the traditions of men. And see, that's not good. But so what is good? I believe if we are to look not so much at the religious people that are going to church and then talking on TV about blah, blah, blah. Just look at some of the Native American Indians, right? The way that they lived. There was the creator or father of spirits, and they hunted and they lived life pretty simple, right? To me, if they had respect for the creator that made them and they loved one another, well, then they're fulfilling the two greatest laws that the Lord said. The Lord said, to love God and to love people. He said all of the law and the prophets, like all of the Old Testament, hangs on the fact that a person is loving their creator and then loving one another on earth. That's when we're doing it right. Yep, exactly. Awesome. And that's, what it's about. It's about keeping it real. And that's what I see. I see people that are in professional sports or actors or lawyers. I met a lawyer one time that was a Christian. But, in accordance with like keeping it real. Like I read the Bible, I pray, but I'm not, a weirdo nut. I'm not telling people they're going to hell. I'm not, having a holier than thou attitude. I'm not somebody that's, self-righteous. I realize that every human being on this planet is just doing the best they can. And I'm here learning and serving. I read the Bible, I pray, I go do this, I do that. To me, that's simple. It's real. It's keeping it in the truth. And to me, if anything is outside the truth, then it becomes ridiculous, right? It becomes some kind of a farce. And you got people killing people in the world over religion. How stupid is that, right? If we just learn that our Creator made us and He put us on this beautiful blue planet, right? Let's go jump off, and do some wingsuiting. Let's go have some fun. Let's play some music together. Like you can get along with, yes, love and light. Exactly. Never hating. Exactly. It's not about dividing. It's about uniting. And so the human family, that means anybody of any religion, right, believing what they were believing, is going to want to know about what is right and good when the Creator gives them a beckoning or a touch, right? When that bubble bursts and they're able to hear truth and see truth, they want to know, they want to learn. A person that wants to learn, right, and wants to be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem or part of the scenery, that to me is a person that respects his maker and is in an understanding while he's on this planet what he's supposed to be doing. To me, that makes sense. Exactly. It is craziness the way that things separate people. It would be nice to have one language and one everything, one. But I believe the one thing that is supposed to unite everyone is love. When we, as a people, whether we're speaking different languages, speaking Chinese or speaking French or whatever, the fact that we know what love and actions is, that breaks through all the language barriers. No matter what food we eat, our customs, everything, none of that matters. Everyone can see an action of love. And when people are doing actions of love, there's no language necessary, right? It's an action of love. When people see people doing actions of love, people take notice. And when it's like unconditional and it's beautiful, that is what is going to lower the guard of some of these people that have been brought up in, ways of thinking that are destructive. Anyway, that is probably good. Contagious? Yes, exactly. There can be a good kind of contagious thing and a bad kind of contagious thing. So let us choose the good and reject the bad. With that, I think we're going to go back to our coffee and do the rest of the afternoon. To all of you, shalom and have a good afternoon. And tomorrow is Sunday, so have a great Sunday too. Peace, everyone.